My technology is penetration test. So let's start with the question. What is penetration testing? Penetration testing is an authorized simulated attack on computer system to find vulnerabilities and to mitigate them before they're exploited by attackers.
My technology is a bug bounty program, which is a crowdsourced security model. It's also authorized. You define the scope and what you want to test. And then individual researchers will test the security of your application.
Well, my model has various advantages to bug bounty. One, basically, it tests your defense capability and also posture. That is, it tests your ability to respond and also to detect vulnerabilities, okay? And it also gives you remediation steps, okay, for you to resolve those vulnerabilities that were found. Yeah. And the other advantage my model has over yours is compliance. So I think this is a huge one. Why? Because most certifications, okay, compliance certifications like the HIPAA, the GDPR, they require a full penetration report from professionals in order for you to be certified, in order for you to have the GDPR, the HIPAA, the PCI, and others. So this is one of the huge advantages. And the next one is also it ensures business continuity. Why it ensures business continuity? Because it serves as a security audit in the sense that it is a recurring process, okay? So they come and they test your systems, okay? If you have vulnerabilities, they give you remediation steps, and they also make sure that they cover everything. They have a full coverage of the system, unlike bug bounty, because they are bound to certain methodologies, okay? To certain way of carrying out that task.
I agree with you. My model does not guarantee full coverage of an application, so you don't have that compliance part in most of the models in frameworks that are used. But you have other various advantages, like you only pay for the vulnerabilities that are found instead of paying for an internal team to exist and test your model. You also have continuous testing, unlike the penetration testing, where you have a small timeline where you are testing the system. My model guarantees that you have the system tested over time. And you also have another advantage where you have a larger talent pool. So when you have an internal team, your focus would be to have professionals that know pen testing and can cover all those frameworks and guidelines that you're talking about. They need to do a structured test. In the bug bounty program, you have several people which are independent from each other, and you can have someone which is very specialized in one technology, like OAuth, for example, and that person can bring skills that your internal team would not be able to give you. It might be able to give you, but it's very unlikely, and you have also a lot more eyes on the application, so you are testing it deeper, and you can guarantee that people can test deeper your model and can find more complex vulnerabilities, which might be more critical.
I have a counter argument to that, because since they are not bound to certain methodologies, okay, to certain way of doing things, I think they might tend to be opportunistic in the sense that they might tend to chase after high-paying vulnerabilities instead of sticking to a fixed methodology of making sure that you cover everything, okay? And they are not bound to any contract, so they are only being paid for what they discover. So if I want to be paid well as a bug bounty hunter, what will I do, you think, okay? I will go after vulnerabilities that are high paying, okay? So I'm not bound to any methodology, but penetration testing, they are bound to their methodologies before the penetration starts, okay? We have a team with the client to make sure, okay, they accept your methodologies, and okay, they accept the way of doing things. And also, you don't need to do a pen test with only your internal team, okay? You have some consultancies that are specialized in penetration tests, and they also have a large talent pool. They have over hundreds of employees, okay, that are also specialized in various areas in penetration testing. They have some that specialize in networking, some are specialized in web pen testing, some are specialized in infrastructure pen testing, okay? So you also have a large talent pool that has a specific methodology of doing things, and this will ensure that everything is covered.
I understand your point, but let me just clear some stuff that you talked about. In a bug bounty program, you don't explicitly need to have external people from the public to test your application. You can also have bug bounty programs which are restricted. Certain people can be internal to the company. You can have a bug bounty program open and another one with pre-releases and some advantages for a specific group of people that you know are skilled. So you have a little bit of flexibility here. Regarding the part of you having external companies, I don't think you are understanding the size of the talent pool that bug bounty brings to the table. It's not even comparable to the third-party companies specialized in pen testing. Because when you are an employee working on pen testing in a company, you are specialized in one area. You might be infrastructure pen testing, like you said, but I mean an infrastructure pen tester, but I am specialized in infrastructure. Infrastructure is a big part of a system, which it has lots of technologies. What I'm talking about, what I was specifying, was that you can have someone, imagine a person that made research over the years for decades and decades and worked on a specific technology or a specific workflow which you would not have normally in a team like that. You, like, for example, OAuth, that's the example I talked about earlier. You have OAuth, someone very, very, very specialized in OAuth. It's not easy for you to hire. It's not easy for you to have in a penetration testing team because it's really specific. And those types of persons, that people will be on bug bounty programs, not in internal or external penetration testing teams. That's what I'm saying.
To conclude my arguments, okay, I believe penetration test, it has its values, okay, and I believe that it is superior to bug bounty. Reason being, I think compliance. As I mentioned earlier, bug bounty is not accepted by many certifications, okay, like the GDPR, the HIPAA, the PCI. So if you open a bug bounty in the hope that you'll be compliant, that won't be. Bug bounty is not organized as penetration testing, okay? So that might lead to oversight, and also it can also lead to you having some undiscovered critical vulnerabilities. It can also serve as a continuous audit. So these are my advantages of penetration testing to bug bounty.
So bug bounty has its advantages over traditional penetration testing because you have a larger talent pool, as I stated. You have the opportunity to find more complex bugs, which the limited timestamp of penetration testings won't allow. And you can also have continuous testing, which would not be possible, or it's not that common in penetration testing assessments. So the main advantage is that it's very flexible. You only pay for the vulnerabilities that are found, and you can also state the scope. You can also state the system. You specify the reward you're going to give for each of the vulnerabilities. So those are the main advantages. It may not cover all the system, guarantee the full coverage of the system, but it's a really good and important tool to have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice talking with you.